Hello YouTube. I thought I would have to wait for months to make the video of how it is to drive a Lincoln Town Car through the snow, but opportunity presented itself and we have decent snow in the later half of April of 2020, and I thought, why not make a video to dispel any myths about what it feels like to drive a Lincoln Town Car through the snow. As you can see, the camera shot is static because I did tape my phone to the rear view mirror so I can focus on the road and not having to hold the camera. And I would, want to apologize in advance if there's any shaking because the phone does swing a little bit. I have it pointed to the right because I still want to be able to use the rear view mirror. So you'll see kind of a skewed picture of the road with a lot of scenery to your right of the screen. So the plazas and everything else, you'll see that more than the car in front, but that's the best way for me to tilt it towards myself. So driving a Lincoln Town Car through, in this case, 35-degree Fahrenheit day, so you can see there's not a lot of snow on the road. It's actually more wet than it is snowy. But you can see plenty of snow on the hood. I specifically didn't want to clean it off so you guys can see the amount of snow that's fallen. The wipers are going on a slow speed, so they will interrupt every once in a while. But in any case, so Lincoln Town Cars are just fine driving through the snow. I drove them many years ago, way before I ever owned one, and I know how they behave. And the truth of the matter is, they're not any better or any worse driving through snow or rain, even the heavy snow, which I have done already since owning this car, right around beginning of January, I think, this year. They drive like any other car. They can get stuck like any other sedan. They can start, sliding like any other sedan. But they're definitely not any worse than your average typical front-wheel drive sedan, which these are rear-wheel drive. And I know a lot of the times people think that they're death traps in the snow, or with a little bit of a rain, then they will just start slipping and sliding all over the place and you won't be able to control it. All of that is not true. I live in Illinois. It gets a fair share of snow. And yeah, really never really had any problems. What they do, these cars, is they behave a little differently than the front-wheel drive cars. Because in the front-wheel drive cars, you start sliding from the front. And most people are used to it. But what they're not used to is if they ever drive a rear-wheel drive car, exactly the same happens. It starts sliding, but it starts sliding from the rear. And if you know how to control it, if you know that the first thing to do is don't panic, just let go of the gas and point the car in the direction you want to go with the steering wheel, and just correct whatever the slipping and sliding is happening, and it's going to be just okay. If you start doing it again, or if it's pretty severe, the last thing you want is to hit the brakes. I know sometimes it's an instinct, but you just have to fight it and control the car. Don't let the car control you. So you do have a couple things going for you driving a Lincoln Town Car. You have the weight of the car, and you have the size of the car, obviously, and you have traction control. And what you also have, which many people don't realize, is the fact that these engines and the way that these transmissions are set up, and the way that most people actually drive these cars, they're kind of geared towards very, very low RPMs. So even at highway speeds, which if this video lasts long enough, I will be going on a highway maybe in about another 5 to 10 minutes. The the RPMs, I don't really never have them climb over 3,000 RPMs, and that alone helps with keeping the car stable and keeping it under control, because obviously, if you start going crazy on it, it will start trying to get away from you. And this car, so accelerating from 0 to, well, now it's pretty slow because of this truck in front. Yeah, like it shifts, like from the first gear, it shifts right around 2,500 RPMs. I'm going to try to overtake this thing because it's just slow, even for my taste. Yeah, like I'm trying to accelerate right now. It is not going over 2,500 RPMs, which means the car is still very, very controlled. Traction control is not kicking in. And at this point, I am going 50. And I never climbed above 2,500 RPMs. So that alone will help you control this vehicle in any condition a lot better than any high revving vehicle, even if it costs a lot more money than this, and it'll definitely help you drive it straight. Now with the traction control, all of these cars, to the best of my knowledge, came with it. It was a standard feature, and yeah, that's kind of your backup. You know, if you do something that makes the car, try to get away from you and start sliding, traction control will kick in. There's going to be a little light that will illuminate on the dash saying that it's working, and it'll basically drop the RPMs for you, even if you are hitting gas. And there you go. It'll help you regain control this way. So, a little story time. When I first bought the car and I was driving it around and showing it off, a family friend who owned a lot of different SUVs, in particular, he was a fan of Nissan Pathfinders. He probably owned like 4 of them. Now he switched to Kia Telluride. It was the first thing he showed, he was actually showing me his new car, the Kia Telluride, and that's when I drove up in this Lincoln Town Car. And the first question he asked was, "Oh man, what are you going to do when it snows?" And my response was, "Well, nothing. I'm just going to drive it like I normally do. And whatever happens, happens." And, this is when we started getting into the whole thing. Oh man, these things are horrible. Be careful out there. In the summer, I'm sure it's fine. In the winter time, you really have to watch the road and not kill yourself. And yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. But just think about it this way. If this car was such a big death trap with the snow and the rain, would millions upon millions of police departments, buy these vehicles? Would millions of cab drivers, they buy these things, and limo companies and all those things? And I would think the answer is no. If these things were really that bad, they would probably ask for some sort of an all-wheel drive version of this car, which I don't think ever existed. Or they would do something, or they would just not use these vehicles. And since they are, or since they were, and some still do, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way these cars behave. You just have to know the car, you have to know the road. You obviously don't want to push it. These things are not known for their super handling. They go straight when you point them straight. They drive smooth when you drive them smooth. The little twists in the road and slick conditions, kind of like it is right now. Though I'm thankful that there's not a whole lot of snow on the road. There's actually none. It's all just wet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going 60 right now. As you can see, still going straight. And if there was a lot of snow on the ground, yeah, I would have probably been driving slower. And every once in a while, I would feel the back start fishtail a little bit, but I would do exactly what I said. Just take the foot off the gas, let the car fix itself, point it to where I want it to point, and there you go. That's how it would drive in the snow. So maybe I will do a little follow-up to this video, maybe closer to the next winter when there is a lot of snow on the ground. Hopefully by then, I still own the car and still alive and kicking. But yeah, there it is, hitting a little traffic up front. Yeah, just hitting the brakes just enough to slow it down. The car's heavy enough where it does a lot of the slowing down by itself without even needing the brake pedal. And yeah, just slowing down without without any issues at all. And yeah. All right, I will stop at this point and wish everybody a good and safe day. And yeah, I do love a few comments that I received. I definitely like the fact that I think more people did subscribe than my immediate family members and friends. I am getting, at this point, I think 120 plus views, which I know is way more than my friends and relatives combined. So someone out there, probably like me as an enthusiast, likes these videos and likes these cars. So I'm happy. I guess maybe I should start asking people to like and subscribe to me, because I am planning to make more of these videos. And I would definitely like to possibly maybe get some requests for ideas of what else can I possibly film to make this more entertaining. I do want to focus primarily on this car, because that's kind of what I feel passionate about. I enjoy shooting these videos and just talking. It's relaxing. Think of it as a self-therapy in a way. Yeah. So yeah, let me know if there's something maybe that I can make more interesting. And yeah, subscribe. Why not? Why not ask people for subscriptions? Since maybe someday down the road, maybe I will hit that magic number. I think you need to have 1,000 subscribers and get, I want to say 4,000 viewing hours, which I'm nowhere near that. But hey, maybe someday, maybe one day I'll wake up and I'll have an email or something from YouTube say, hey, you've reached a milestone and here's some money for it. I have no idea how the whole money thing works on YouTube yet, but yeah, maybe someday. So not hoping, for that to be my only source of income, but if I can get a little extra, a few years down the road, why not? I think everybody should. So, all right, thanks, and you have yourself all a great day. Well, I guess there's one opportunity for me to add to the video is now that I'm on the highway, doing 70 right now. There's very few cars up front. It is still a coronavirus-filled day. Oh, there's somebody overtaking me in a Cadillac. Look at that. All right, well, I'm not going to go much faster because I wanted to just wrap it up with just a comment of how smooth this car is on the highway. This is what this car is really meant to be in. Is at a highway speed, so currently I'm doing 74. It is just the most relaxing and rewarding experience of driving a vehicle ever, and I just love it. It says yield to plows, reduce speed. And yeah, out of all cars out there, at least in my experience, for an average person, this is the best car to be had on the highway. Not at the crazy speeds, it's not going to catch up to a Ferrari or something like that. But once you kind of open it up and set your cruise control, you're just going to glide. And I hope the camera can pick up the fact that there's little to no vibration. I don't know about the noise. I'm going to have to check later on. Hopefully the sound is fine. But oh my God, how good this car is on the highway. Not a care in the world. Very few cars. Otherwise, this thing would have been, not at this point, but pretty close. It would be hitting traffic as I'm getting closer to Chicago. But for right now, yep. I kind of creeped up to 80 right now and still as smooth as ever. All right, I'm going to end it at that.